So the whole genesis for this video came from hearing some advice that I sort of agree with, but I sort of don't. Hey, we made the light. What is up, my friends? Look, don't stare at the stats. Watch for potholes that I just ran over. And I know this video might ruffle a few feathers. I can already picture it. Moto Mengi's gonna make a comment, if he catches up and actually sees this video, that he never looks at his stats and he does his Moto Mengi channel just for fun. And he's not wrong. On the flip side, Dewey Rides is gonna comment with some War and Peace length diatribe about why looking at stats is highly beneficial, blah, 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 data. Oh, I swear that guy has no life. But in the next like 15 minutes, I'm hoping to do three things. One, tell you why you shouldn't obsess over the stats. Two, tell you about an experiment I ran. And three, get a shot I've been waiting a couple of months to get. So let's dive right in. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm John, and I am reportedly an idiot, but in real life, I'm a pretty smart guy, and I can figure stuff out. Yeah, that is a really general thing to say. Doesn't mean it's not true, however, and therein lies the rub. I have done a lot of looking at stats and looking at my coffee cup and drinking my coffee. Coffee. But I do spend a lot of time looking at stats and pondering things and changing things on the channel. Let's start with a primer, if you will, a grade school look at YouTube stats. Because as a new channel, or even an established channel that may not look at things like the Google Analytics page on YouTube, it is Google, right? You know, I don't have a script or anything. I got no notes down here. You can see no notes. So if I get something wrong, just correct me in the comments. I'm a big boy. I can take it. Be nice. I can't take that much. So we've got to look at a few basics, right? One is CTR. That is the click-through rate. That basically tells you how good your thumbnail and title combination worked to draw a potential viewer in. The second one is your AVD, or average view duration. That is how much of a video somebody watched before they clicked off. A third stat to look at is the view number. Yes, the view number, as it relates to the last 10 videos you published on YouTube. So once you get about 10 videos, YouTube starts ranking them, right? And it's the last 10 published. It's not the top 10 on your channel. So it's a rolling thing. And what this does is it tells you how your recent videos stack up against each other, not historically. And there's another stat that I like to look at, and that is the graph. So in the video analytics page, you'll see a graph. It's a retention graph. And it's a line, goes left to right, and it shows you how many people were watching at the beginning versus the end, and it drops off. So now that we understand what those stats are, let's take a look at what to pay attention about those stats, because I did say don't look at the stats, and then I said don't obsess over the stats, and I will explain that forthwith. Yeah, forthwith, I think that's a word. We're rolling with it. We're rolling with it. Can we make this light green? Yes, we can. Look at us. We are winning today. Barely. Stay. Good driver. Yes. So the first stat I want to look at is the click-through rate. The higher, the better. Expect anywhere from 5 to 10%, give or take. If YouTube pushes your video out to a wider audience, you will get a lower click-through rate. It's just, that's how stats work. They show it to more people, less people click on it. They may not be your target demographic. And by the way, this is something that's been on my mind pretty heavily lately, and I can't remember if I talked about it recently or not, so just in case, I'm doing it here. Hey, look, sometimes you got to see how the sausage is made, all right? It helps even non-creators to understand a little bit of the behind the scenes on a YouTube channel, which I think could be beneficial. And it's windy over here, so skip. So what do we do with this click-through rate? Well, if you pay attention to it, it tells you how good your thumbnail is, right? And your title. So maybe try shorter titles, longer titles, use some keywords in your titles, make your thumbnails nice and clean. Yes, clean. That means a couple of things in focus and everything else can be blurry. Use a few words, maybe not any words. Look it up. There's plenty of other videos on how to make good thumbnails and titles, but those are my general recommendations. The second thing to look at is the AVD. This is the big one. This tells you whether or not your video was too long or too short or didn't match the thumbnail and the title. So what you're shooting for is at least a 30% AVD. Anything over 30% is gravy. I shoot for 50, and you'll find through another stat how well it's doing. So with that, let's skip right ahead to that little graph I mentioned earlier. It shows the retention rate, and it shows the actual video above it. Hey, concert hall. Nice, love it, still loving it. So if your AVD is low, look at that graph. See where people clicked off, where they came back if they just skipped ahead. Your intro might be too long. There's a lot of things that can cause the AVD to spike and go low or whatever the word is. But you just have to look at it and figure out what you did that turned viewers off. For me, I think it was clicking on the video. But Dewey Rides and I used to compare notes, and he found that when he talked, his graph went down, and when I did music, my graph went down, and then vice versa for the other person. It was kind of funny. People like his music selections better than mine. I still do it because my little music sections have gotten better, and they're a lot more fun for me to edit, so I do them. You've got the click-through rate, the AVD, and then the view count compared to other videos. Now, this one is a little weird. If you're Ty from Tennessee, you're always talking Lowrider ST or Street Glide CVO. His viewership knows to expect one of two things. Me, on the other hand, I have bucked conventional wisdom, and I do basically anything on my channel. So like I did the Eagles video where I said, hey, the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl. That video got the least amount of views of like any I've published in the last few months. Them's the breaks. Not all topics will be popular with all viewers. So at the end of the day, what do? You look at the stats, but you can't obsess about them, and you certainly cannot compare them to anybody else. My videos are wildly successful on YouTube, so don't take my experience for anything but with a grain of salt, and then take your blood pressure medicine and then move on, because it ain't worth it. But we're about to get a shot up here. It's not quite as late in the day as I thought it would be, but the temperature's warming up. I brought the Sony with me. This is a shot I've been wanting to get since I took it with my phone a couple of months ago. So give me a minute to do that, and then we'll talk about the experiment that I did. Yeah, I did an experiment. Leave it in gear so it doesn't roll away. Turn it off. There we go. All right, we're on the Sony now, okay? And I've got it in full auto mode because I have forsaken all other modes except for a couple of rare instances. Auto mode just does a great job. Arm outstretched. Yes, that's as far out as I can zoom. But we've got the bike here. Yeah, look at that. There's the bike. There's the sun. I'm trying to recreate it, but I don't get the, I don't have the orange glow of the sun like I did before. By the way, this is sketchy as all hell on the wrong side of the road, but I wanted to get these shots. I want to see how they look. It's just a shame it's not as orangey. It's not quite sundown or whatever, dusk. Yeah, words, John. Go across the road. I'm also hoping I don't run out of battery juice in the 9 or 10 because I didn't put fresh batteries in after riding to work this morning. Whoopsie. And if you want to see these pictures, they're on Instagram at Road Reality. The link thing's on screen. And now let us continue with our journey. So now you know a little bit about the stats, and I watch them, I check them, I don't obsess over them. A video does what it's going to do. The most important part is to have fun with making the videos. I've said it 1,000 different ways, and I'm going to say it another 1,000 ways, just to make sure that people see this and go, hey, it can be fun. Maybe I'll try it too. I'd like the motovlogger community to continue growing. Yes, even if it's more competition for me. It's not a zero-sum game, people. It's a lot of fun. Ooh, a little bit windy over here in the open plains. We will talk anyway. Hopefully it still works. So what's this experiment that I've been running? Well, I, for the longest time, posted videos. Hold on. Passing on the left. Passing on the left. Thank you. Have a good day. These bikers are like, the hell is this guy on a Harley doing? Anyway, maybe they don't know that it's a Harley. But like I was saying, for the longest time, focus, John, focus. Woo, okay. For a while now, I've been posting on Tuesdays and Fridays at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Well, starting about 4 or 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago now, I started publishing Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And I changed the time to noon. Now I looked in my YouTube stats pages, and it shows you under the audience tab in the analytics page, shows you what you have for audience members at whatever hour of the day per day of the week. So it showed me that a lot of people watch my stuff on Sundays, and a lot of people watch basically like noon to 6 p.m. on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I was like, I am not publishing on those days. Maybe I should try it. My numbers immediately went up. Loved it. So I went back to the Tuesday, Friday thing for a couple of weeks. People didn't love that. If you've noticed the change in when I'm publishing videos, let me know in the comments below. The other thing I did was I published for a couple of weeks on like random days, just a Monday here and a Thursday there and a Saturday and a Sunday. And wow, hey, I got room, cool. And I found that viewers really didn't like that at all. So now I just concentrate on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And when I run out of videos, I have no idea what I'm gonna do. I don't know if I'm gonna do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I don't really know. That'll be a game time decision, my friends, game time decision. Anyway, that's the experiment I ran. That's a little bit about stats, kind of a dry topic today. Let's make it wet with coffee. Coffee. And I think I got a shot that I've been trying to get for a while. So if nothing else, I got a half decent video out of this, and I got some half decent pictures. So it's basically normal road reality quality. I would use air quotes, but my hands are busy. See? Busy on the hand. Wait, there we go. Road reality quality. Hey, there you go. So the whole genesis for this video came from hearing some advice that I sort of agree with, but I sort of don't. And that is that small and new creators, small channels and new creators, should not pay attention to their stats page, like, at all. And I have to disagree with that, because I think the stats, like I've shown before, can actually help you improve your videos without actually having to take like a class to improve your videos. I mean, it comes with practice, all right? You think I got this expert knowledge from my first video? No, it's like 400 videos. So I just wanted to kind of address that and give my take on it, because I think I've got a little bit of what it takes to answer that question for people. Don't you come over. Thank you. Gotta watch these drivers. Head on a swivel. So anyway, I hope you got something out of it. I do. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, boop the like button. You know, share it with friends. Share it with that one guy that needs to learn how to drive. I'll make room. I will. I don't want to end up road pizza. I'm going to get squished here, aren't I? Yep, totally. Anyway, share it with somebody who might learn something from it. You never know what they'll gain. I'm going to gain a Chevy Volt in the back end. Gee whiz. Anyway, remember the two mantras. One, you have a 100% track record of making it through a bad day. And two, do something nice for yourself every day. John out.